Here's the grand jury. There's a victim one. Victim two is the night 2002. The victim one is a kid who his mother turned in Sandusky in 2009. Victim two is the grad assistant who walked in and saw Sandusky in the shower having graphic sex with a 10-year-old boy. He went to Paterno's house. Paterno testified that the grad assistant was very upset, came to his house. Paterno called Tim Curley, and Paterno called the security guy and told them what they had seen. The grad assistant heard back from Curley a week later. He was told that Sandusky's keys to the locker room had been taken away after the incident, and the incident had been reported to Sandusky's charity. The graduate assistant was never questioned by university police, and no other entity conducted any investigation until 2010. That finishes them right there. They're destroyed by that. Destroyed. How did the school and Paterno and everybody brush this under the, and they had to know about the 1998 stuff. Curley testified they informed the doctor, and this guy's going to look bad too, Dr. Jack Rakovitz, who was the executive director of the Second Mile at the time, and met with Sandusky to advise Sandusky that he was prohibited from bringing any youth onto the Penn State campus. Curley testified that he met again with the grad assistant and advised him that Sandusky had been directed not to use Penn State facilities. Curley testified that he had also advised Penn State University President Graham Spanner of the information he had received and what the outcome was. Schultz testified he was called to a meeting with Paterno and Curley in which Paterno reporting disturbing and inappropriate conduct in the shower by Sandusky. Schultz testified that he and Curley agreed that Sandusky was told not to bring any Second Mile children into the football building, and that Curley had asked the Child Protection Agency to look into the matter. Schultz testified that he knew about an investigation of Sandusky that occurred in 1998, and that the Child Protection Agency had done the investigation. Schultz testified that the 1998 incident was reviewed by university police. Although Schultz oversaw the university police as part of his position, he never reported the 2002 incident to the police or any police agency, never sought to review the police report on the 98 incident, and never attempted to learn the identity of the child in the shower in 2002, nor did anyone else at the university. Grand jury finds that the testimony of Tim Curley and Gary Schultz is not credible. Sandusky still holds emeritus status with Penn State. In addition to the regular privileges of Professor Emeritus, he had an office and a telephone in the Lash building. The status allowed him access to all recreational facilities, a parking pass for a vehicle, access to a Penn State account for the internet, listing in the faculty directory, faculty discounts at the bookstore, educational privileges for himself and his eligible dependents. These were negotiated in 1999 at his retirement and were never taken away. Schultz testified that Sandusky retired when Paterno felt it was time to make a coaching change, and also time for Sandusky to take his enhanced retirement package. The grand jury concludes the sexual assault of a minor male in 2002 should have been reported to the Pennsylvania Department of Public Welfare and law enforcement officials. The grand jury finds that Tim Curley made materially false statements under oath in the official proceeding in 2011. Furthermore, the grand jury finds that Gary Schultz made materially false statements under oath in an official proceeding on January 12, 2011. Victim 3. This was the summer of 2000. Victim 4. Victim 5, 1995, now 22 years of age. Victim 6, 1994, as an 8-year-old. Victim 7, 1994, as a 10-year-old. Victim 8, 2000, at the school, caught by a janitor. I'll read every word of it tonight so that I get it in full. We await Paterno's explanation. I don't see how anything but his dismissal will be needed. He'll never convince me from what I read here and see here that Paterno didn't know something was up. Never. He obviously knew something was up, but I mean, link the dots. I think he probably knew in '98. That's why he got rid of him. And he let him hang around there. Loyalty is not a defense. Not when you have all these little kids that, how does Joe look these guys in the, how does Joe not want to find out what happened to the little boy in Tooth? How do you not want to care about what happened to the little boy who's 8 years old? No one even wanted to know his name. This is how you treat people? Joe should just retire, resign, and say he's sorry. And listen, if he did something that there's a law against, then do something to him too. Because this is outrageous. Outrageous. This is outrageous behavior. I mean, I can't connect the dots here. They knew in '98. That's why he's out of the program. It was surprising when he left the program. I remember that. They talked about that. I remember them doing features on that second mile thing and lauding him for his work with these kids. And the fact that the president is in a higher position of authority than even Joe, but Joe is in an incredibly high position of authority. He is one of the most powerful people in this country. Joe Paterno deals with presidents. Joe Paterno has been a model of leadership in this country for decades. He is one of the more powerful people in this country. He has been like a beacon in terms of doing it the right way and education and everything else. And it's a sham. And loyalty is no defense. Not for this. Not when your friend's a sick human being. They let this guy, Joe should have to be in a room with the people who he attacked after 2002 and explain to them and their parents why he didn't do something. And allow Jerry Sandusky to run around there and still have an office in the building. And the university president, and these other guys. I understand Joe washed his hands of it and told the authorities, but it wasn't enough. They didn't do anything to him. They had to stop him, and they didn't stop him. He kept doing it. There's no defense for this. There really isn't. I mean, he should have his day to speak. And if he's got a plausible explanation, I'd like to hear it, but I don't think he's got one. Back after this.